Hello guys, this is Sumant from Decode Now. Welcome to the lecture series on Python for beginners. Today we'll be having an overview on Python data types and data structures. So coming to the next slide, in this particular video, we'll be learning about different data types that we'll be using in Python and also how they fit in coding. So data types in Python is the basic building structure that we'll be using in a large piece of code. So in this video, we'll also be looking into different examples of the data types and the data structures. So this is just like a quick overview on all the different data types and structures that we'll be using in Python. No need to memorize anything. We'll be digging deep into each individual data type and structure later in the videos. Coming to the next slide. We have a table having three columns. One is name, type, and description. So on the left hand side, we have this name and all the names of different data types and data structures that we'll be using in Python. And the second column is type. Here, what type is like a short keyword that Python refers to for the data types and structures. So suppose we have integers and Python refers it as a short keyword called int. Similarly, for floating point, the short keyword is float. And for strings, it is str and so on. So on the right hand side, we can see description. As the name suggests, it provides a short description on the individual data type or the structures along with few examples. So let's go through these one by one. First one is the integers and its short keyword is int. It's just whole numbers. So we'll be using numbers in our day-to-day lives. So these numbers are represented as integers or int in Python. And few examples include 3, 300, and 200. So basically, these are numbers. And the second one is floating point, which is represented as float in Python. These are numbers, but with a decimal point. Earlier we saw whole numbers, those are integers, and if those numbers have decimal points, then it's called as floating point values. So a few examples include 2.3, 4.6, 100.0. Here you can observe that even though 100.0 is similar to 100, but since there is a decimal point and a zero following it, it becomes a floating point value. Next, we have strings, and the short keyword is str. Strings are basically an ordered sequence of characters. So they are words. So if you can see on the right hand side, there are few examples. There is hello, there is Sammy, and there is a bunch of Japanese characters. And one interesting thing you can see in the examples is we also have 2000. So even though 2000 is a number, since it is enclosed within double quotes, it is considered as string in Python. So any character, it may be special character or number or just alphabetic characters which are included within double quotes or single quotes. As you can see in Sammy, it is enclosed within single quotes. It will be considered as a string in Python. So this is strings. Next we have lists. So the first three items which we looked at, those are integers, floating point values, and strings, are basically like data types, whereas the next things we'll be seeing are called as data structures. Data structures is a bit specialized when compared to data types. Here in data types, we can store only single values, whereas in structures, data structures, we'll be storing a collection of individual objects. So for example, if we look at the first one, which is list, and its short keyword is list, list, it's an ordered sequence of objects. So in the example, you can see we have 10, which is an integer, hello, which is a string enclosed within double quotes, and we have 200.3, which is a floating point value. And all these different objects are included or enclosed within square brackets, as you can see here on the either end. And these individual objects are separated using a comma value. So these are ordered, this will be in sequence, and it can store a collection of objects rather than individual objects, as we saw in the data types. That's the difference between data type and the data structure. Here we can store a collection of objects. So This is list, and coming to the next structure, which is dictionaries, and its short keyword is DICT dict. It's an unordered key value pairs. Unlike lists, it is not ordered, it is unordered. We'll be talking more about what's ordered and what's unordered in the future videos. We'll be digging deep into individual data types and structures in the videos. This is just a quick overview. So if we can observe in the key value, if we can see in the example, we have key value pairs. So my key and this is the value. So both key as well as the value are enclosed within double quotes, and in between we can see colon here. So in real world example, if you want to see, suppose name is a key and it has double quotes and a colon and its value is Frankie, or you can say name, channel name, then channel name within double quotes, then colon, then decode now again within double quotes. And we can have multiple key value pairs, and the multiple key value pairs are separated using comma, and they are enclosed within flower brackets. Here all the different objects, individual objects were separated by comma, but they were enclosed within these angular brackets, whereas here we are using flower brackets in dictionaries. And the list was ordered, whereas dictionaries was unordered. So coming to tuples, and its keyword is tup, tup. So it's ordered immutable sequence of objects. So it is ordered like list, and it is also in sequence, but the main difference between tuples and lists is it is immutable. In lists, we can modify or alter the values or the objects that is present within the list, whereas in tuples it's not possible. It's immutable. So it is similar to lists, but the only difference is we cannot alter or modify the values within the tuple. And one more difference, as you can see in the example here, it is enclosed within square brackets, whereas here it is enclosed within small brackets. So that's the difference between tuples and lists, and we'll also be digging deep into tuples in the later lectures. So this is just a quick overview. Coming to the next data structure, which is sets. And the short keyword is set. It's an unordered collection of unique objects. Similar to dictionaries, sets are also unordered in Python, but one of the main feature of sets is it stores only unique objects. There is no duplicate values which can be present in sets. So suppose in list, if I wanted to add 10 in this after 200.3, I would just give a comma and type in 10 in order to store in the list. But if I wanted to save A in this particular set, it would not be possible because it does not accept duplicate values. It only accepts unique objects. So that is set. And last but not the least, we have booleans, and its short keyword is bool, bool. It's just a logical value indicating true or false. Suppose, for example, we have a number 4, and we can just say if number 4 is even, return true, or else return false. So there we'll be using these booleans, and it helps us there, and we'll be learning more about booleans and all these individual data types and data structures in detail in the upcoming videos. So that's it for today's video. Please do subscribe to our channel and support us. If you have any questions, suggestions, or comments, please let us know in the comment section below. And if you have learned something new, do subscribe to the channel and like our video. Thank you.